Hello, welcome to Area and Perimeter, Unit 1, and this is Level 6, so we're going to be looking at some word problems and identifying key words. Let's get started. So Jimmy drew a perfect square. One side measured 5 inches. What was the area of his square? The key word here is area. That tells me that I'm going to be using multiplication, and I'm going to be multiplying two sides of a shape. So if I have a square, the thing about squares is that if I have one measurement, I have all the measurements for all four sides because they're all identical. So if one side is 5, that means all four sides are 5. And to be more specific, they're 5 inches, but I will only write that one time to save some space. So if I'm going to be talking about area, I'm going to be taking one side that is like side to side, that would be the length, and multiplying it by another side that's up and down, which would be the height. So in this case, I have 5 times 5, and that's going to get me to 25 inches. That label needs to be in there to be the most correct that it can be. If you got to 10, remember you added, and you need to check your math to make sure that you're multiplying correctly. Okay, let's move on. Miss Davis has a garden that measures 6 yards by 5 yards. What is the area of her garden? Keyword is area. That tells me I'm going to be using multiplication. And this time I have a rectangle because the sides are different lengths or different measurements. So one of them is 6 and it's yards, and the other one is 5. With rectangles, I know that the opposite ends are identical. So what that means is if this length is 6, this one is 6. And if this height is 5, this height is 5. And that comes into account when we start doing perimeter or when you only have one measurement. But in this case, this is area. So again, I'm going to take a length and multiply it by a height. So I have 6 times 5 yards, and 6 times 5 is 30. And I need to add the label at the end for yards. Next is a square window has sides that are 8 inches each. What is the perimeter? This one's different. The key word here is perimeter. And this tells me I need to add, not multiply. As I draw this out, this is where it comes into where I told you how to find the other sides. This one's a square, but the rule applies. So if one of the sides is 8 inches, this one is also 8, this one is also 8, and this one is also 8. But with perimeter, I am adding all 4 sides together. I'm not multiplying. I'm just adding up. If I were to walk around the outside, that's what I would get. So in this case, I would have 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8. However, repeated addition is the same thing as multiplication. So if I counted how many sides the shape has, which is 4, then I could use a quick multiplication fact to just speed up the addition, which would be 8 times 4. If I did that, I would get 32. And I need that label, which is inches. Inches. Okay. And we're done. You guys will have lots of different options in the practice level and the real level, but make sure you keep an eye. Perimeter means addition. Area is multiplication. Area is essentially getting you all of the inside of something. And then perimeter, remember, is the outside